Alright, would you give me your full name?
Angelo Hannekom,
Okay, and how old are you?
23 years old.
23.
Yeah.
And would you tell me your life story starting from your earliest memory?
Yes, it was, how can I tell you, I was young, I was the age, I think the age of, I can remember, 11. Me and my mother and my sister used to stay together. We were, how can I say, we were one family, but we lived in one house, in one bedroom, you see. So I remember when I used to go to school, life was hard for me, man, because as I was growing up, the money, the poverty, the drugs. My father, he was alcoholic. My mother also, she was an alcoholic. So for me, it was hard to like stand up in the morning and go to school because there was no food like to eat in the morning, or we must eat food with fish oil on the bread, or we don't have shoes to like go to school. So it was hard for me to like stand up in the morning and facing the day and the challenges and like studying in primary school. So as I grew older, my father and my mother, they like, how can I say, they split. I remember once me and my mother took me on a weekend, on a Friday, she took me towards a bin. I was on her neck, she was like carrying me on her neck. I was like small, almost 11 years, 12 years old. She was like carrying me, and something happened in the street. She was drunk, and my father was also drunk. So I was on my mother's neck, and my father came, and they were like arguing. And the next thing I saw, it's like my father was taking out a knife, and he was like stabbing my mother in the arm, like here, in the upper arm. And I was like falling from her neck to the ground, but I lay on my feet because I was old enough to stand on my feet. So I remember him shouting at my mother, like telling her, why are you doing this? Why are you drinking? And but he also was drunk. So all this, I'm like looking at my mother, looking at my father, what is happening, and my mother is like crying, shouting, holding her arm, and saying, you're stabbing me, and why are you stabbing me? And my father, he just ran off, he ran to a street, I don't know that street's name, but my mother took me, I took my mother home, we phoned the ambulance, so the ambulance came, they stitched the arm, it was like 8 stitches or 10 stitches in the arm, and from there, I go to the hospital. I was alone, only me and my sister, my older sister. So we were like strength to each other. She was like encouraging me and I was like encouraging her. She was in high school, I was in primary school. But it got so hard now that later on I didn't want to go to school anymore. I like go to school but I'm not in class. I'm like on the premises of the school but I don't go to school. So the next day, yeah, my mother came out of hospital with the arm bandage and she told me to go to school, but I didn't want her to go to school. And that's where I remember my sister, she moved out. She moved to Unedited in Bontebel. She moved out of the house, so it was just me and my mother. So it was hard for me to like, how can I say, live with my mother. My mother is working, but she's also drinking. And she comes in late. I was like at home every day. She was not like there, always there for me. But my auntie in Bontebel heard about it, so they came when I was in grade 7 or grade 6. My auntie came, so she took me from my mother. She took me away from my mother. She took me to Bontebel. So I start grade 6 over. So there's when it all happened. There I began to meet friends who are parts of gang. You see, so I began to smoke at a very young age. When I was 12, 13 years old, I began to smoke tobacco. So I thought it was cool for me because everyone was doing it on the school. And the girls, they were encouraging me to like smoke with them, drugs, like alcohol and dacha, like how do you call it? My drugs were like smoking on the school premises, but I was still in primary school. So as I grew older, I went to grade 5. Me and my cousin were in one class. So I was like having a fight with this schoolmate of mine, but he was living in Valhalla Park and I was living in Ontario. So me and him after school, we fight. He hit me, I hit him. I get the grass on the ground, I like stab him, two in his back. So they went into hospital, so they take me out of that school. And I'm like, go to another school. But on that school in Bonteville, it's Narina Primary. I start grade 5 over. And there the guys, the gangsters in that area, they come from outside. They go like on the school premises and like take the schoolboys' clothes and their work, their books and everything. They like destroying it, like fighting with the school kids on the premises. They were like coming from outside on the school and fighting. So I was really lonely, how can I say? I was always feeling outside of a group. Even when I have a group of friends, I wouldn't like laugh with them and like talk with them and like go out, but I was there for them. But I was like always feeling abandoned, feeling lonely on my own. Don't know them, no one to talk to. Because why I didn't like talking much about to people. If I talk to people, I get angry or I get aggressive if people want to like talk to me, and that's how I end up in drugs, in gangsterism. I became a gangster. At the time I was 14 years old. Yeah, I joined the gang, the American gangs. So when I joined the American gangs, it's like, how can I say? They were like everything to me, man. They were like giving me clothes, food. They were like giving me love, man. Because I believed at that time I believed they were like giving me love. Because when I was young, they were older friends. They were like showing me guns and telling me to leave school and to come stay with them. Because there's a better life in like dealing drugs than to have an education. Because what they told me, what's the better? What's wrong if you learn? If you're going to learn very long to get the job. But if you finish matric, you won't get nowhere. You still be on the street struggling. So I told myself, if I'm not gonna make it here, then where I'm gonna make it? So I didn't leave school at the same time. I went on go to school, but at the afternoon I would come home. My cousins would be at the house. They would say to me, yeah, you operate with gangsters. I'm gonna tell auntie and what. You must go back to your mother's house and you must go stay there. They were like downing me, man. I was like feeling, how can I say, depressed. I was like, there's no one who cared for me. No one was like give me something. There was no one I could talk to about my feelings, to express my feelings, my emotions. Everything was like just hard on me. Like at a very young age, I was like carrying something heavy on my shoulders. You see. So when I grew older, when I go to high schools, grade 8 to grade 9, I officially joined the gang. You see. So on the school premises, me and the boys, we were like operating with guns on the school. We were like fighting with the bad boys, clever kids, corner boys. We were like all Americans. We were like starting this gang, fighting each other, stabbing each other after school. When the school used to come out, I would like run with the baseball bat or with the hockey stick. You see, I would like fight with the other crew that doesn't live in my territory. We were like fighting each other. One afternoon, something happened. There was these two brothers. They are twins, you see, but they came after school to come get us, you see, to make sure we are safe. So the school came out Arcadia. I went to school in Arcadia High. It was in Bonteville. So after school, one afternoon, it was in 2006 or 2007, I think. You see, after school, something happened. A fight broke out. Those two guys, like, there's another bad boy. They were like chasing him. I was like running after them. You see. So when I came on the game, they were like, he was like laying on the ground, and And they were like on top of him, stabbing him the whole time. You see, in a pool of blood he was laying. I just looked at him, and I'm like standing there. What are the guys doing? But I know what they are doing. You see, but later on, the ambulance come get him, and then they say they died in the hospital. You see, so the cops were looking for me, because why? The girls, the witnesses say I was the only one there, and the other two guys they don't know. You see, so the cops were like looking for me. I was like 15 years old, 15 there, about that age, 15, 16. So I go home to my auntie's house. I didn't live by my mother, because my mother, she was like drinking and working at the same time, but that wouldn't be for her to like have me, because why I would be worse if I was with her, because why she was like always, she was abusive in a way, man. She was like, when she came out of work, I was like drinking, she was like drinking, come after work, throw the pots, throw the plates, she making a noise. Me and my sister, we would run into the room, we would hide in the room. My sister would cry, but she's older than me, and I would say to her, don't cry, your father is gonna come get us now. So that's how my mother like grew up. So I went to my auntie. I lived there for 4 years or 3 years. I lived there in Bonteo. As I lived there, things started to grow worse for me. I started stealing out of my auntie's house. I started stealing in the street. I started robbing people. I still remember me and two guys. There are also two brothers. They were in and out of prison. You see, but they were very young. They were like 16, 17, but they were in and out of prison by that age. So I was like operating with them. So there is where I started to go to prison at a very young age. So the first time I went to prison is for attempted murder, because why? That guy that we robbed him, but one of the guys who was like with me stabbed him. So when he stabbed him, he like opened a case, but attempted murder, but he said it's me and that guy. So the police came there to my auntie's house, they came looking for me, and so they arrested me. I went to the phone, to Osasha. You see, there, everything happened fast there. Everything happened so fast there. I still remember I was in Osasha. The Coloureds and the Xhosas were fighting at Osasha. There was a section for Coloureds and Xhosas. Coloureds would draw on that side and Xhosas would draw on this side. If the Coloureds and the Xhosas would meet, like in exercise, they would like fight, like grab chairs, plates, iron rods, and like hit each other. Just the place would go chaos. It would be crazy. And I was like staring. The first time I'm here in this place, and I was like, what is happening now? The guys are hitting each other. The blood is running from their heads, from their mouths, from their nose. And I was like scared. Because why? I'm not used to this. We all are boys. We live in one room, but we are fighting each other. How is that? So I thought to myself, if I'm in here, I was in prison. Because this is not prison. If I go on like this, I will go to prison. So as I grew older, something happened in my early teenager stage. I was like now getting into the gangsterism. I was like getting involved, and it was like my life. I was like depending with my whole life on it. So when I came out of Osasha, I go back to my auntie's house. But that was after 6 months. I go back there. I stayed there for a couple of months. I did something. There were some guys like a friend of mine. He was like having rings, gold rings, married rings from his auntie, but he didn't want to sell it. So I came up with the lives. Like, let's take this range and we sell it there by the birds and then we get drugs. So he said no. So I say to him, come let me wear one. So we gave all three at the same time with me. So I wear it on my finger and I like look at it. And I'm like telling him I'm coming now, I'm just gonna go around to the shop. So I like run away with it, with my best friend, with his rings. I ran away with it. Me and another two guys, we went to the merchant, we sold it for 600 rand. So we buy 2 grams of tip. You see, that was in the early 2007. See, so that time we took. I was like high on drugs. I was like into drugs. I was care about nothing. Man. I didn't care about. I know my mother is still alive or my sister is still alive. I didn't care about it. I was just doing my own thing. See, like robbing on the train station. I was like going to the train station at night, Friday night. And then we get the old guy, maybe he's drinking there. We get him there sitting in the bus stop, and we were like jump him, attack him, kick him in his face, take his shoes out, take his jacket, take everything he have on him, and we would like take everything and leave him there, kick him in his face. He's like laying, maybe an old man is drinking, you see, he's drunk, he's laying there. We take everything from him, we would move from the station, and I would like run first to the buyer, and would like sell the man's shoes or his jacket or anything we get on him, money, and for everything for drugs. Later on, I started to hang out with the guys with the guns there in Q-Town. You see, there I started to like see how it is to like when someone shoots someone. You see, so one night, one friend of mine came to me. His name is Farouk. He came to me. He told me to like hold this for him, this gun. Someone just shot at him, but they didn't shoot him in close range. So I looked at it and I just took it because I thought now I'm a gangster now. I must have this for protection. You see. So the time I take the gun, he was like leaving me. You see, he was like going somewhere else. So there came a car around. The car just came and picked me up and said, come, you're gonna go with us. We're going to the club, then in Nova Park, we're gonna do something there. So I said to them, I think to myself, nah, go with the flow. Nothing will happen to you. You've got the gun. No one can do you nothing. So we went to a Nova Park. As we were coming here in Nova Park, there was a day hospital and a taxi. You see, there was a group of guys standing on the corner, like gambling, dice. They were like standing on the corner, and we were like coming. We were driving a Golf, a green Golf, a city Golf, and we were like closing in on these guys. But I didn't know what was gonna happen. They didn't tell me what was gonna happen. So as we closed in on these guys, we stopped in front of them. We asked them where are the super boys. They say they are there in Bogapot, but we didn't went there. We stayed there for a couple of minutes. Then the passenger was with me in the car. We were 5 people in the car. The passenger, he just like jumps out and he starts shooting at those guys. You see, and I'm like, and the other guy is sitting next to me. He's like, get out of the car and shoot them. And I'm like, get out of the car. And I'm like, one-upping my gun. You see, and I'm running to the crowd, and they are all running. The guys that we are closing in on, and we like shooting all at once, shooting at them. We shoot the other guy. He was in the newspaper. You see, everything that was in the newspaper. So from there we drive to Q-Town, and I was like shaking, stunned about what just happened, because why, like the sounds, the gun sounds, the bangs, it's like a drill here in my ears. You see, I still get that feeling, that adrenaline. Something happened. You see, I must have shot someone. You see, that feeling came over me, like, what if you shot someone dead? Or what if you shot that small child or something like that in that area? So I was like running from Q-Town to Bonteville. I came to Bonteville. It was late at night. one night I was alone. Came in Bonteheuwel. My auntie came to me. She told me, "Hey you must go back to your mother. Your mother is looking for you. You must go back to her and love there by her." You see. So I thought to myself, "No, it's okay. I will go back to my mother. Because it's now after 4 years since I've been without my mother, and she has always come visit me here with my auntie. Because what my auntie told me, you're a troublemaker, you're stealing here, you're smoking drugs, so you must go back. There's no place for gangsters here in my house." My auntie told me. So I told myself, "Yeah, it's alright, man. I can go back to my mother. I don't worry about you." So I went back to my mother at the age of 19. 19, yeah. I was 19. So I went back. My mother was like, she was not drinking anymore. So she changed her life. So I was like worse now. I was the small guy when my mother was like worse. But now, through that struggle, that poverty, I'm like worse now. I'm a gangster now. I'm 19 years old. I'm a teenager. She had no control over me. You see? So I was like, it was like something new, man. You with your mother after a long time. So how is it for me? It's difficult for me to like cope.
Oh, sorry.
To like cope with this. You see, it was not difficult because I couldn't cope. But my mother, I always think of her as a drunkard, an alcoholic, someone who doesn't care about me. She's always there just to drink. But she had changed her life, but I didn't realize it. So when I came back to Etlum, I lived there in Etlum. I get at the age, at my 20th birthday, I get a girl. Yeah, me and some friends we went to a club. I get a girl. Her name is Bonita. She's from Atlantis. Me and her, we have a relationship. Let's say me and her we was together for 18 months. You see. Now, the time I was with her, I was still a gangster. By 2010, I got shot in Bokmakeri. It was on a Sunday night, on a rainy night. I never forget that night. My mother told me not to go out. Satan is loose outside, he's looking for me. So, I thought, hey, what can you do? You can't tell me nothing because why you drink and what. So, I just leave the house about 9 o'clock past 9. I just leave the house on a Sunday night in Etlum. I went to the dump. I didn't have no protection, no gun. I had nothing on me, not even a knife, you see. So I went down. I'm about to go fetch a gun. It was on a Sunday night. I went to the canal, the river, standing on a bench. Then this car like driving past me, but I was like wearing a scarf in the machine. The car like driving past me. And just when I thought the car was like past me, I turned my back and I looked down the river. You see, as I was looking down the river, I just heard, "Hey, I just Uncle Sam." And as I turned around, there was like two guys coming at me with guns. Both of them shooting at once. I was like showing lightning in front of me, like close range. The one that hit me here with one gunshot, here. If I can, and here in my back, they shot me 5 times. 5 shots hit me. You see, as I was running, because as they were coming towards me, I was turning my back and I was running. Because I thought, now I'm gonna die now. As I was running, I was holding my head. You see, like running, and the shots just went off after me. The next thing I remember, I woke up in a hospital, in Grooteski Hospital, in the ICU, or in the emergency room. I was like laying on the table, looking up I was like seeing a big light in front of me. I was like, where am I now? Am I dead or what's happening to me? You see, I was like, and I saw my mother. She was like standing here right beside me at my bed, and I couldn't speak. I was like trying to lift myself up, but I couldn't lift myself up because they just removed the bullets. You see, that was on a Monday night. I woke up in the hospital, but all the bullets weren't removed because there were still 2 bullets in my leg that weren't removed. So the doctor told me, "You're lucky to be alive. You should have been dead." And as I was looking at the doctor, something just came up here above my throat. Blood. Coaches of blood, like, how can I say? Dik stukke bloed. It just came out. And I was like, walking, coaching, vomiting. You see? Just blood everywhere, just blood, vomiting blood. You see? So they put me in a deep sleep. You see? So they operate on me again. They operate on my leg. I still got a pain. Something in my leg, some iron. There's an iron here. It runs from here, from my hip to here, with 4 screws in my leg. You see? So they operate on me again. They told me I was gonna be paralyzed. I'm not gonna walk. I'm not gonna use this right leg again. That's what the doctors told me at Grootersdorp Hospital. So I told myself, oh, my future is gone now. I'm a gangster. I must get the guys who shot me because I know them. It was all running through my mind as I was laying in the bed in Grootersdorp. As I was laying there, something happened at night. I think it was the next night. Yeah, the Tuesday. They were finished operating on me. And I was like lying. I was like trying to move my feet, but I couldn't. Because why? It was like heavy. My whole body was heavy. Then the nurse like come to me and say, hey, you mustn't move. You must stay calm. Because why? If you move, your stitches will get loose. And I'm like, what stitches? And they told me my stomach, they cut open my stomach to like have a look for the bullets that maybe touch my spine or touch my liver or something like that, but nothing like that. So I looked, I turned like my hospital clothes, I looked at my stomach, see, oh, something like a duck, like a worm, almost like a live worm, a red worm, a grass worm. It's like crippling, it's like coming up to my stomach here, and I'm like looking, it's like raw meat, man. You see, it's attached to each other. So I'm like, what's happening here? Then they told me it was shot Sunday night, and I remember when I was shot, but how is this so serious? So they showed me some pictures of my X-ray. They showed me it was shot 5 times, but none of the bullets hit your lungs or your heart or your rib. Yeah, one bullet hit my rib. One rib of mine is still out of, how can I say, it's still not in its right place because why the rib is moved. So I asked them, hey, now when I'm gonna leave here, they said maybe in 2-3 months time, if they get a chance to like get me to walk. But they told me I'm gonna be paralyzed because why? My leg, my hip, it was blown away. My inside hip, it was like the bullet, it like exploded in my legs. So I couldn't like stand on it again. So I said no, man, I'm gonna try, man. So after weeks passed in the hospital, I like get myself, I mean, how can I say, I'm like moving myself, trying to lift my leg up. And as I tried to lift my leg up, it began to give movement. My toes began to move. My leg began to move around. So they appointed me a physio, a girl and a guy. So every weekend, Saturdays, Sundays, they were like coming to me and like telling me, Angelo, you must get up, you must come now, you must communicate, you must like give your work with us and do everything like we telling you to do. So I did what I did. I like walk against the bench with my crutches, but I couldn't like walk from here to there. I was like walking one step at a time. Then I was like tired if I finished walking. You see? So the weeks go by, I get to walk. So one night they came in, a sister. I don't know the sister. She just came in there and told me, you're gonna walk again. The Lord will let you walk again. She told me that night. And I'm like, what? You're talking to me? But they said I'm paralyzed. They said, no, you're gonna walk again, you will see. One day you will walk again. So I'm like lying in my bed, crying myself to sleep, thinking, what did I do to deserve this? Where was my downfall? And
Sorry, let me just check on this here. Sorry about that.
you're
So
right.
you're talking about, you're talking about your father and after the hospital.
You say?
You were talking about your father and after getting out of the hospital?
Yeah, after I got out of the hospital, me and my father, we had a fight. You see, I stabbed him, but I didn't like stab him seriously. I stabbed him in his arm. Because why? I was like asking me, where were you all this time? When I was struggling, my mother, she was always there for me. Look, she's not drinking anymore. You still go in prison, in and out. You don't want to come right. You're in your 40s already. I'm now 20 years old, but you don't want to do anything. So, as I was trying to find myself in life, I learned that the more I look down on myself, the more I feel out, the more I feel discouraged. As I was trying to like be rude to someone, I saw myself getting a downfall or like getting nowhere. So one day I was in the mall. I meet this other girl. She's also a girl that lives now in my area, you see. But her mother and father also lives in Heidelberg, you see. So I met this girl. Me and her, we were in a relationship. The other girl, me and her broke up because of the way I was, like, how can I say? I was like in gangsterism. That girl, she was going to school. So I met this girl, she was working, you see, she was working there in Ottery. Me and her, we come along quite a long time now, you see. I met her, me and her, like, we understand, she understands me, man, but I had nothing. I didn't have friends. I did have friends, but not like positive friends, like negative friends, gangster friends, you see. So I met this girl. I take her with me. We were like 6 months together, you see. So she fell pregnant. She bore me a son. He's now 2 years old, you see. So that time it was almost my 21st. So as I was nearing my 21st, I was like feeling pressure of life getting to me. I was like wanting money, but I don't know how to get it. Because why? There's news of this girl, she just came to me with the news, I'm pregnant, you see. And I'm like asking her, are you sure you're pregnant? Did you double check? And she's like, yes, she's sure. And I'm like, wow. And I have a child together, but I wasn't ready to be a father, you see. So 2 weeks before my 21st, something came over me. I was talking with no one. I was silenced. I didn't have nothing to say to no one. It was on a Monday. I still remember that Monday. I went out of the house. My mother told me to go look for work. I went out I didn't answer her, I didn't say to her nothing. I just went straight to like, here in Salvador. I went here. I went to Grooteski Hospital for my appointment on a Monday morning. I finished there. As I finished there, something came over me. Something like telling me, hey, your 21st is next week. You must do something now to get money. Otherwise you will have a boring 21st. You see? So I was like, I was like taking the knife, coming out of Grooteski Hospital. I was like walking down to the taxi. There was this white lady coming towards me. She was like carrying a bag, a laptop bag, carrying a phone in her one hand. I don't know, she was a doctor or something, but I know she was 22 years old, you see. Then I was so dumb. I just grabbed the lady. I grabbed her like around the neck, you see, taking the laptop. She was like crying, screaming for help, but I just choked her harder, you see. But it was like broad daylight, man. Everyone was seeing the securities. They were running towards me. And I was like taking a phone, taking a laptop, taking a wallet. I was like running towards the taxi. You see, there, securities came with the cars. Everyone in there by Grootske Hospital, by the robots, and the lower main road, the upper main road, they were like all standing there. And they were like looking at me, and I was like running towards the taxi. I was like getting, as I was closing in on the taxi, I was getting into the taxi. As I was getting into the taxi with the laptop and the phone and the wallet, securities like came with the bakkie. They like stop in front of the taxi. They like say for the driver, whoa, don't ride, don't go anywhere. There's someone here just robbed the lady. You see? So they were like taking me. I was like running wildly in the street in the main road. It was in the morning hours. You see, the cars were hooting, everyone was staring, the street was full, man. You see? So as I was running, they catch me. They take me to Grootske, to the abandoned building, the security building. They tie me, they arrest me, put handcuffs on my hands, beat me up, beat me eye, beat my eye like dinges, tit in my head, you see. And I was like there in the room, alone in the room. And this girl was coming, she was crying. She's like, why are you doing this to me? What did I do for you? And I was like staring, and I'm like, sorry my lady, sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you. I won't do it again. And she said, no man, you mustn't do that to people, man. People don't like doing that to other guys doing that to them. So I was like staring at her, and the security was like standing next to me and was like smacking, why are you looking at the lady? You just robbed her, you see? And there they found the cops, Mowbray's cops, Woodstock's police. They come get me there. You see, they arrest me, they charge me with assault and armed robbery. You see, I'm like laying in the cells of Woodstock. I'm like scratching my head, 20 years old. Next week is my 21st. Where am I going now? I'm going to prison now. So the speeder, the detective, he come to me. He told me, hey you, what's your name? We know you. You are old robber and stuff like this. And he said, your name is Angelo Hannekom. And I say, yeah, that's my name. I don't want to give false name or anything. So he said, you go to prison for a very long time, my friend. You see. So I told him, no, if I go to prison, it's alright, man. And I say to him, for what is my case? And he say, you know, what is your case? I'm a robbery and assault. So I say, okay. When I'm going to court, they say, no, you're going to court in 2 days' time. You're going to lay in the cells for 48 hours. When I was in the cells, I was like, drugs like getting out of my body. I was like feeling uncomfortable in the cell because there was this blankets and this mattress. It's like a carpet, like this carpet. You see, the mattress was like, it was no good, man. It wasn't nice to be there because every time I put the blanket over my head, I was like scratching here, scratching there. There was a time in the cell I did scratch here, I did scratch my skin from my heads. And it was like blood coming out because I was like craving for more drugs. The drug, it did get to me now. It was like, how can I say, I couldn't handle it, man. I wanted to hang myself in that cell, but I didn't have anything to hang, but I wanted to use a blanket, but there was more guys in the cell with me. So the day came when I went to court. Yeah, I went to court. The Monday was that. I went to court the Wednesday. You see, the Wednesday came at court, came down court. They say to me, hey you're going to prison for 7 days for bail application. I went to prison for bail application in 7 days. I came back, no bail. I went to prison again for 14 days. They gave me a 2 months. I died, a 2 months date. No bail, bail failed. Because why? There was another case that stand up against me the time when I was young. The case that was thrown against me, that case it stand up again. And that's an attempted murder case and a case of a possession of a firearm, you see. So that case stand up against me, so I was like, what am I gonna do now? This case is against me, I'm gonna get sentenced, and when I'm gonna leave prison. When I came to prison, like in that 2 months when I was there, they gave me a date for the 27th. That was 2011, I think. For the 27th of September, they give me that date. You see, so I know now it's final. When I came to prison, everything was fast. Everything was taking its time, taking slow to get to me. I was like in loss. I was in a lost state, man. I didn't know which way to go. I didn't know who to talk to or what to do because I was alone in the situation. You see, I had nowhere to go, no one to comfort me, no one. I was now in prison. I was now to stay in my own ground. You see, so time passed. The day came. The 27th of September came. I went to court. That day I was in the hut, in the underworld of the court. I came up to court. My mother was in court. She was like crying. Because when look at the son now. He was only here when he was young, and after 4 years he came back to me. He wasn't even 2 years with me. Now he went back to prison. She was like crying. The magistrate told me, today you are found guilty of armed robbery and assault. Today you will be sentenced. Today I sentence you to 8 years in prison, 4 years suspended, 4 years straight prison sentence. And I was like crying, but there were no tears coming. You see, crying like in myself. You see, for why did I have to do this? My 21st is over. I did spend my 21st in prison. I was, that day when they sentenced me, I was like, everything just left my body, my spirit, my soul, my mind focus, it just left me. I was completely nowhere to be found, in no man's land, you see, because I was like looking around me and I was seeing blank, everything was like blank. It was turning dark, because now I'm gonna go in for 4 years in prison. But as when I turned 21, I learned in prison that life is not easy. Troubles come, troubles go. It's what you make of it. So when I came to prison at the age of 20, I told myself, now there's no turning back. It's either you're part of the gang or you're against the gang. So as I grew in prison, I began to join a gang. I finally joined the gang. They call this gang the 28th in prison, almost the notorious, and the 26 and the 27s. So I saw the fighting happening in 2012. In 2012, they stabbed a guy in front of me in the room where I was sleeping. They stabbed him 21 times. They stabbed him dead. You see, in front of me, in the same room where I was sleeping. So I'm like, whoa, if this happens in prison, it can happen to me if that happened to him. So I was like wakey. You see, I was like dumb, but in a way, dumb, wakey, and like selfish. You see, like self-conscious. My conscience was always disturbing me, was always reminding me of where I come from, what kind of life I lived, what kind of mother I grew up with, what kind of father I grew up with. My conscience was always like, it was haunting me, man. Things I used to do outside, and things in life outside and life in prison, it's different. You see, it's harder in prison to stay in your own ground. Because why? There the numbers, they number up against one. If you want to be a gunia, they playing against you, they plot to kill you in prison. So I told myself, man, if I'm not willing to make a step, change my life, I would not make it in here. I wouldn't make it, not for far, because why? I'm not yet two months in my sentence, and all this is happening. You see, it was like I was already there for 4 years, because why? If for 1 month, it was just fighting going on all around me. I was involved here and there, because why? I just joined the gang 28, and they were like telling me they need blood, because why? One of the brothers' blood did fall, so they did give me a knife. I must like stab a warden. You see, so I told this 128. You see, my bro, I got the child outside. I got the mother outside that wants me to become a better person. If you want me to stab a warden, what are the wardens gonna do to me? And he's like, hey, they can do you nothing, man. You just dollar and nothing will come to you, man. I will stand for this, man. You see? And I was like, no, you will stand for this. It's alright, man. I take the knife by him. It was a made knife. You see it is on the window, there's brass. To close the window, it was one of them. They made the knife with it, sharpened it, sellotaped it. And I was like one morning, it was on a Saturday morning, I wrote call. I was like standing in the gate. Cops were coming, they were counting, everyone was counting, we were sitting in the line. I was like sitting here last in the line, we were like 30 odd in the room. So I was like sitting here last in the room, in the line. So as the warden say, we must pray our Father. We prayed our Father. As we finished praying, same time I stand up, I didn't go, I ran past the warden, I ran straight to that guy who gave me the knife, tell me to stab the warden. I ran straight to him, I grabbed him from, like I grabbed him like this, and I told him, hey you want me to stab this man? Why don't you stab him, man? You see, I take out the knife, I'm like making him script, and he's like running, you want to stab me, and the warden is like, hey, what's going on here? You see, they're like taking out their batons, hitting everyone in the room, you see, and I'm like stabbing this one, so I let him run in, you see, and I'm like staying outside of the room, and the warden is like, hey, give that, and I throw it down to the ground, the knife, and I'm like going down with the knife, I go down, I lay with my face first to the ground. They strip me, they take all my clothes, they let me lay down on the ground naked, you see, they throw me full of water, you see. Now the pressure starting to get to me. Now I'm like, whoa, look what's happening now, where am I going now? They throw me in a single cell, me alone. I was there for 2 weeks in that single cell. It was like hell. The single cell, it was like dirty. There was one bed in the single cell, it was like one room, and this room was only made for a bed. But they like put a toilet pot in this room. A toilet pot and a tap, and like a cabinet. So the toilet pot was like here by me, by my head. So I was like there for 2 weeks, thinking of where my life went. From my child, from the earliest memory, I remember only me and my sister and my mother, we grew up. And as I remember what kind of person I was, I never intended to like end up here in this situation, to like be alone in a cell. I was like crying with inside of my heart. My heart was broken, my mind was all over, it was like all over me. I didn't know what to do. I was like struggling in the single cell, coping. Every morning they would come, the wardens would come. They would come, hey, where's that bitch? They were like, open up. Hey, you are you sleeping late? Throw a bucket of water or sit. They throw my head on my bed, on my sheets. You see, I was like standing there against the cold wall, looking at them. And they're like, you're looking so, what's wrong with you? You know your number, and you must stand with the number, because you chose to be the number, you see. So they bring me porridge every morning. The porridge like butter, no sugar porridge, no sugar in the porridge. No, they give me bread with no butter, dry bread, you see. 2 weeks went on like that. I came back to the section. I fall in the other room. You see, it was now in 2012, yeah, I started to walk school. So I get to this program. It's called anger management. That program, anger management. I started attending this program. You see, as I attended this program, I became to like change for the betterment. You see, I'm like starting to know where anger comes from. You see, because why I was like a quick anger person and quick tempered person. If you like step on my toe, I would like fight, or I would like shout, or like swear at you. But after this program, something happened to me. I saw things differently. Because why is the sister Joy she was like interviewing us also. She was like, asking question like, do you know where anger comes from? Do you know what is anger? And stuff like that. And I'm like, no, I'm just angry because I'm angry at you. Because you locked me up, now I'm angry. You see, as time goes by, as time did go by, I walked this program and I learned anger is like an emotion which you turn into anger. It's like something within your indigestion is a little monster that's waiting to be angered and to burst, like get angry. So my time went on in prison. Yeah, we went to a school. That's the time, 2012, yeah. We started attending school. You see, I was like alone. I had no friends, no nothing. I was like talking to no one in person. And like I was on my own, but I was part of a gang. But I wasn't like sleeping with them in one room. You see, and they were like making threats to me. Hey, you still owe us. You still owe us blood. You see, you didn't take the blood of the warden. And I'm like, yeah, how can you let me stay here for longer? And I got the child outside. You have nothing to live for. I've got family outside. I want to go out one day. I don't want to be in here forever. You see? So as time goes, I turned 22. Yeah, I turned 22. 2013, last year. I began to feel the changes in my life. I began to change slowly, like positively, like being with people in prison is positive. I meet young in prison 2012. There is where I see that guys like me, they can change. They can become better if they only if they like put their whole mindset on it. So now my mind is like regrouping. I was like thinking to myself, if I would have done this a long time ago, before I came to prison, I would like be like free, man. I wouldn't like be now in the situation that I am now. Because right now, I'm in a situation that I leave prison was in this year, the 30th of April 2014, I came out, you see, on parole, on 18 months. I'd served 2 years, 6 months of my 4-year sentence. You see, and the 4 years was a suspended sentence. You see, so I served that time. As I served that time, I learned a lot. I learned to be positive, to love yourself, to know who you are and what you want in life, to know your goals, to set them up, and to like expect the best. And not to let people judge you or overtake you or let them control your life or let them cut the hair of your head, like control your mind. You see? So I've learned that as I came out of prison, first thing, I went to my son. I didn't see him from the day that girl told me, her name is Candace, she told me she's pregnant. My 21st was next week. I did catch a crime. I did do something wrong. The police arrested me. They sentenced me to 8 years, 4 years suspended, 4 years in prison. I never saw my child. I never saw him, not with one eye drop. You see, as I came out last month, the 30th April, first thing, I came home, I asked my mother, where's Candace, where's the baby? Okay, my mother told me, okay, she moved, she lived with her mother in Heidelberg. So, I went to Heidelberg, but I'm out on the road, but I couldn't sleep out. I went there, Pebbles Peak Drive, I went there. It was early in this month. I think the 4th or the 5th, I went there. I went to go look for my son, because I know I have a son. I can feel I have a son, but I didn't see him. I went there by Devil's Peak Drive. I came to the road. I came to the street. I asked anyone I get, where does Candace live? They told me just up the road over the station. So I went there, knocked on the door. I was like coming out of prison now, was fresh. My sister opens the door. She like, who are you? She don't know me. And I'm like, who are you? Is Candace here? I'm angry now because I want to see my son. You see? Then Candace came out. She's like, what are you doing here? Sy vraag my, wat soek ek hier? I asked her, hey, where is my child? Where is my child? You know, when last did I see you? And you didn't even come to come showing to me in prison. You didn't even come to visit me in prison. For all those time, 2 years, 6 months I was gone. You never phoned my mother. You never told my mother about the child, about the grandson. Why are you doing this? You see? And she told me, hey, you know, you are on drugs. You are living your life recklessly. You want actually the father that I intended to be with for my child. You see? Now I told her, but as you can see, I came out of prison now. I'm a changed man. I want to see my son. I want to see him. I want to hold him. I want to take him with me home. And she said, no, you can't do that. And her mother came. And her mother said, hey, what is this gangster doing here? And I'm like, gangster? Why are you calling? Yeah, you a gangster. You must understand you are a gangster and you have no future for my child and her child. Even though you the father, you have no future for them. And I'm like shocked. I didn't even see this child of mine yet, but you're telling me I have no future for them. And I told her, hey, just let me hold him. And I asked her, what's his name? I didn't even know his name. So his name is Keno. K-E-N-O. And I'm like, yo, Keno, where is he? He's asleep. Can I see him? No, you can't. And I'm like, why not? Because why? He's old enough now, he can talk. He's 2 years old. You see, he told me he's 2 years old. And I'm like, yo, 2 years old. And I wanted to see him. I was like, how can I say it? Almost like that anger was coming back. That quick tempo, it was coming back. I was like about to do something there in front of her mother's house. But something controlled me to lay back. So I told her, can I come in? Can I drink a little water? She said, yes. As I was coming in, I looked around in the house and was looking for the bedroom. Because I was looking for my son. I want to take my son with me. Even though I have nothing, I just want to hold him, feel him, tell him that I'm his father. You see? So I sat in the living room, talking to her mother, telling her I have changed my life. I'm not the person, the foolish boy, the stupid boy I used to be when I was 20 years old. You see, when I was younger, when I was turning 21, I went to prison that time. I told her everything, what happened to me in prison. You see, my experiences, guys, they have killed in front of me. Like, guys, they was stabbed. The other guys, they was like hitting him. to like paralyze in a race to like over his head. And I was like telling them my experiences, man. You see, and they did saw the change in me. And so they say, you can come to the bedroom and look, because he's sleeping now. And I go, I was like excited, because I wanted to see.
So you read there.
Yeah.
That she bring your brother down.
She bring my son to me. Like now, as I'm now outside. The date is today, the 27th, I think. The 27th, I'm now 27 days outside. You see, and I have seen him for this 27 days I'm outside. I've seen him only 3 weeks. You see, I've seen him 3 weeks, and I'm struggling, but I'm trying my best to like show him I can be a father to him, and if I can get the work now, any work, then I can just. My dream was to be a chef. You see, I want to be a professional chef, and I can do it because I did qualify there by Drakenstad here by Portsmouth to become a chef. You see, so now I'm just waiting on my certificate to like get it from there, and I can go to the college there in Vaasbaai and like study hospitality, and I'm already a chef, you can say, and I can go in any restaurant or any work and like start my own chef, like work for a restaurant and chef. Maybe there they can see I got talent like in cooking, and they can maybe appoint me manager or something like that, and I can start my work like beginning to like showing them, and I'm gonna bring my part, I bring my support, I bring the money they ask of me, because why she told me she's not gonna make a case against me for non-support, because why she know I wasn't there, and it was hard for me coming out of prison, like getting money, getting clothes for the baby, for the child. He's now 2 years old. He's wearing now already clothes, shoes. You see, his hair want to be safe. You see, he's going to crash. You see, but the only thing I can do is I can just show my loyalty, man. You see, show my loyalty and show that I'm a father. I'm not running away from my problems. I'm gonna stay even though I have no money, no friends, no clothes. But I'm gonna stay loyal to my son, and I'm gonna give him the life that I never had. You see, because I can still become what I want to become because I'm still young. You see, but I want him to have a better life than I am. When he comes at the age of 13, 14, I don't want him to see what I saw. You see, because I saw, how can I say ugly stuff. At that age, at my age 12, 13, 14, I saw stuff that I shouldn't have seen as a young guy, as a young boy like me. I've never have seen that. But now my mother, she's a born again now, you see, and she's helping me to like stay away from the bad friends, cooperating, like building my family. You see, now I'm struggling now as I'm operating now with this program. You see, because why I'm struggling to get employment, but how can I say, with the criminal record, it's not always that easy, because people look at you with that intention, and they don't see you for the one you have changed, but they respect you and all, but they still discuss you, like he's that gangster, he's still that gangster, he's still walking with guns. Even though he's a father of a child, he's still that evil guy we used to know that time. But my intention is to prove them wrong, and to prove to them that I can stand for my family. You see, that's why I'm here today in this program, to make a change, to make my life, my future better for me, to understand who I really am. You see, for my son, I want him to know that I love him very much, and I show him every weekend that, you see. And for me now, it's just for me to make a change, man. To like make a change, if I get the right job, the right place to stay. See, because I don't want to stay there forever where I'm staying now. There at my mother's place at the back now. I don't want to stay there forever. I want to move out there, change my address, get my own place, ready to stay, get myself other girlfriend and my son. I want to be a family. You see, I want to give him the life that really seriously I want to give him that life that I never had. I don't want him to walk, because why, you know, life is like a circle. All the things you do, it comes back to your children if you don't cut it off. If you don't make a change in your life, who will make a change in your son's life, or in your brother's life, or in your sister's life? You see, because why, I've learned, if I don't make the change I want to see, then who's gonna make the change for me? You see, that's why I'm now 27 days and I'm still trying to, like, coping and trying to find my feet. But the gangsters, the temptation in my area is still big. Because why, how can I say, they know I'm a gangster, a prison gangster, but I told them I don't want to Sabella this no more here outside. If they want to Sabella the no more with me, they must come with me to prison and they will see how I used to live in prison. They never came to visit me in prison, not once, not twice. Never gave my mother a favor and go give this to Angelo, tell him we say hello or send a message. No one did that, no one ever in my area. But now that I'm outside, they're like all over me. You see, they're like operating again with the guns, cars, parties, weekends, drink, drugs. And they're like inviting me into everything they do. They're inviting me. But I'm struggling to resist it, man. Because why? It's an opportunity here. They offer you money. They offer you a gun, protection. You know you have enemies. Even though you are in prison for 2 years, 6 months, you still have the same enemies. Because why? The time you are outside, you hurt your enemies. And your enemies is still looking for you. They're still looking to take your life. So that's why I have to be careful not to join the gang again. Even though I'm not part of the gang, the enemies won't look at it like that. But the only way I can show my enemies I have changed my life is by starting a youth project in my area, or a youth community project which I can help young children. Because right there in my area now, the young girls and the young guys, they are all smoking drugs, and it's a hobby for them and it's excited for them to like smoke. They respect me and everything now. They think I'm still that same guy, man. They used to know. They're like greeting me and oi salute and all this. But I'm like, no man guys, man. This is not the road, man. Young girls, 11, 10 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old, they smoke drugs, unga, all these drugs, drink alcohol, weekends on the streets. What their little brothers of 5, 6, 7 years old smoke cigarettes. You see, there in my area is happening like that. Now that for me, it's, how can I say, it's challenging, man. It's hard. It's like touching my heart, because why? I came from that. I was like that. I used to walk bare feet to school, you see, with the shorts, a vest, a hem, and then it was like raining, cold weather in the winter, you see, nothing to eat, no bread to take with to school, you see. The teachers at school, they used to make food for the children that comes from that kind of backgrounds, the poor society, you see, they used to make food. But some teachers were nasty also. Some teachers, Suma told you, your mother is a drunkard, your father is a criminal, and you won't have the education you really need, because why, your parents, they are not here for you. Some teachers told you that. Some teachers like judge you, they discourage you, they depress you, they put you more into that hole that you already are. They don't lift you out of that hole, you see. So now that I'm outside, I want to give my son the best that he ever had, man. And that no one else can do it to him except me. And I want to show his mother also that I have changed, man. I don't want the back, because why? I know maybe she's got someone else now, you see, but I want her to know, man, that I can be a father for her son, that I can be what I intended to be the time I met her. You see, what I set out for the future to be. Because why it's not, the future doesn't end here. It's like a new beginning now for me to show her and to show my son that I'm willing to change. Because why his birthday is now the 7th month. You see, his birthday is coming down here. So I want to be there for him at all times. And I want to show him that although the circumstances he's facing, even if his mother or his mother's mother is not working and his father is not working, his father can still make a better way for him and to education, you see, to education, to learning him what I've learned. The knowledge that I have of my background, I can share it with him as he grows older. Because he's turning 3 years old now, you see, I can grow older with him. As he grows older, I can show him the right from wrong. I can show him his weaknesses and his strengths, his strong points and his weak points. I can show him all that with the little bit of knowledge I have, you see, of the street life and the wrong life. I can teach him in my way, in how I grew up, you see. And I told him I grew up like this, and I don't want you to grow up like this. I want you to have the best. It's not easy to have the best life if your father doesn't work and your mother doesn't work. But I want you to have it, and I will try my best with all my power and might. I will do it to make sure you live your life to the full. That's how I want it. See, because I can see now my life journey, it was hard for me, but now that I'm in my early 20s, it's up to me to make my dream a reality. You see, now that I'm in my early 20s, only I can be the change in my life that I want to be. Every day when I come here, I go home, I look at the mirror, I talk to myself, and I have a chat with myself, have a conversation with myself. You see, people think I'm crazy, man, because I'm like happy every day, happy. Like, how can this guy be happy? He came out of prison. He's so much singing in the street. He's so much greeting everyone. He's so much happy. What's wrong with him? Is he crazy? Did something happen to him? But it's just the way I feel inside me. Because I know I can make a difference in my life. You see, in my son's life. But my main responsibility and my priority now is my son. No one else. No one else. My son and my mother. See, that's my main responsibility. So what I would like to say for young people also who's growing up now outside, who's in other areas, other countries, it is struggling, they mustn't give up, man. They must never, like in my age, most of my guys in my age, if life gets too hard on them, and they like commit suicide. I know a friend of mine, his name is Brucey Aston. His name was Aston Spencer. We were 3 best friends. I didn't tell you this because why this was too emotional. We were 3 best friends. When I came back to my mother, we were 3. It was me, Mason, and Aston. Aston's mother smoked drugs. His mother smoked drugs. His father smoked drugs. You see, but he didn't agree with it. He didn't want his mother to smoke drugs, either his father. So what he did, he was working at a security company. He was paying fortnight 1,500 rand. So what he did, he didn't give money to his mother or to his father. What he did, he smoked ganja and main drugs. He smoked dacha and main drugs. So every fortnight, he would smoke his money, his 1,500 rand. He would give it for his aunties, but he wouldn't give nothing for his mother or for his father because they were on drugs. He would give for his sisters and for his brothers, you see. And then from there, me, him, and Mason, we would smoke You see, from 7 o'clock in the night till late, till 12, till 1, we would smoke. You see, one night, something happened at the house. He chased his father with a spade, a graf. He chased his father out of the house. He said, you come here with your drugs, you let my mother smoke drugs and all this stuff. But the house was like, they were coming. You see, every one of us was there. This night, we didn't know what was going to happen. If we knew what would happen that night, we would have taken him with us, man. Take him to a safe place. So the first attempt on his life, he hanged himself with the tube, with the tire, a bicycle tire, with the tube. He hanged himself in his backyard, but the tire broke. He didn't succeed in hanging, killing himself. So we thought he won't do it again. So we take him out there, we take him to the living room, we sit there with him, we talk to him. We was his friends, man. I told him, Baruchi, his name was Baruchi, brother, why are you doing this? Hoe could you yourself do it, man? Now he was angry, he was crying, he was sitting like this, and he was crying. My mother and my father, they don't see my little brothers and sisters because why they're smoking drugs. In front of them, they smoked it, they're making a drug den of this house. And I have small brothers and small sisters that are growing up. And what is their future is looking like if my mother and father goes on like this. So I told him, my bro, you see, life is not always easy, man. You see this problem, you have it now. Maybe you will have it now, man. You will see in 5 years' time where you will find yourself. You see, but please don't do this to yourself, man. Please don't do anything to yourself or do anything to your brothers or to your sisters. You see, then he was angry. We were smoking the last pipe. It was past 9 already. You see, 2:10. We were smoking. He was he's going to bed now, man. His mother was busy in the kitchen making scrambled eggs. I remember that night clearly. His eyes was like daylight. I can see it as I'm talking to you now. I see exactly how did it happen. His mother was in the kitchen scrambling eggs. He came in from back. We all three came in through the house from back to the back door. We're going out now, and he's going to his room. He's going to sleep now. As his mother was making the scrambled eggs, he was coming through. Why are you making this junk food in this eggs? He was taking the pen, throwing it against the wall. You see, with all the food falling on the ground. His mother was shouting at him, and he was shouting at his mother. He went to bed. He said to us, Owens, I'm going to sleep now, man. Julle kan maar huis toe gaan. Sien jy nou? Now, we didn't go home. Me and my son, we didn't go home. We stayed across the street by a electric box. We stayed there because we know something is not right here, man. Something is going to happen here. See, either he's going to stab someone here in this house or he's going to kill his father. But we didn't know he was going to kill himself, hang himself. So we were standing there outside. It was past 10 already. So we thought he was going to sleep, man. So his mother came out. His mother was going to his father. His father was there by his father's mother. So his mother was going there. His cousin, Mercer, her name is Mercer, she was, just like this, as his mother left the house, she was coming out, she was running out of the house. Guys, come here. Houston, his name is Houston, his real name is Houston Aston. Aston is hanging in the yard. And I was running to this game where he was hanging. And I came there, he was tied up with the rope. His hand was this, inside the rope. You see, his tongue was sticking out. He was hanging on a piece of wood, a bulb. I grabbed his feet, his feet was this from the ground. You see, he was hanging. I grabbed his feet, I lifted him up. The other brother came with a knife. He cut the rope on top, he cut the rope. As he cut the rope, he like falls on me. You see, I just carry him here over my shoulder into the house. On his mother's bed, I throw him. His hands were still here, stuck. You see, we were struggling to make this one loose here because it was a tight knot. He did tie it tightly, you see, but you can see he wanted to like loosen it because his fingers was inside the rope. As we were loosening that, the rope did come off. His hands, this spot from his fingers was purple. His neck was purple here from here, purple line till here. You see, his tongue was cold. I put my fingers in his mouth. He was like laying on the bed now. And I was like on top of him crying. Brother, in Afrikaans, his name is Baruchi. Easton, wake up, Houston, wake up. I was like slapping him and wake up crying. You see, I was like on top of him. And he was like just laying there. His hands was purple, his tongue was purple, it was ice cold. You see this purple line here around his neck. His mother was crying. His little brother was crying. He got 2 sisters and 2 brothers. You see, but they were small. And he always used to eat them. So that's why they're gonna miss him. You see, and I'm still missing him today. Because why we were close. There was not a friend like him. You see, his ear, one part of his ear was off. Because why when he was small he burned. You see, he burned his ear, he burned his side of his face. That night now, my friend, that night, it was like, something came over me, man. That wanted me to change my life, to do something that I would never thought I would do. That, look at this brother of mine is laying here, he's dead. And the other guy came in. He works at the hospital. He comes, he checked the pulse of this friend of mine, and he told me, hey, it's already too late. Your friend is dead, he's gone. And I was like crying, I was still sitting on top of him. His mother is like, no, leave him, he's dead. His mother is also crying. His sister, the whole house is crying. You see, he's dead, it can't be, he's dead. She said, no, I wouldn't believe it. Ek sê nee, hy is dood die man. Hy's net flown. I told him, no, he's not dead. He's just unconscious. He's gonna wake up now, man. Just wait and see. He's gonna wake up, man. Just wait, just have patience, man. Don't cry, don't say he's dead, man. He's not dead. You see, he's alive, man. He's gonna wake up now. You see, but never did he wake up. Never did he wake up. He died that night, killing himself. And I was younger than him. I was about 22, 23, and I'm now that age. You see, he was younger than me. I was younger than him. I was a few years younger than him. A few years, maybe 4 or 5 years younger than him. You see, but I'm just saying, man, most of the guys that come to this age, they think if they have nothing to live for, they come out of prison, they have nowhere to go. They have no clothes, they have no food. Maybe their mother is dead, or their mother is drinking, father is drinking. They got nowhere to go. The pressure of life, it gets to them, and then they decide to commit suicide. Now that thoughts, it came to me, but I was younger. I was in prison. Suicide thoughts came to me, but I thought forward, what would the people say outside if you like kill yourself here? What will happen to people outside if you kill yourself here? You see, that was my mindset worked with me to like restrain me from committing suicide. Because it was hard for me to know that I have a son outside, but I never seen him. I have a child, but I never hold him. I don't know what he looks like, but I'm in prison. What am I doing in prison? I'm not supposed to be here. You see, till the day I came out, I realized that life is worth more than anything. More than anything you can be in the poorest class of society, but if you have confidence and you have faith and hope, like you're gonna get there someday, you don't have to like commit crime and do stuff like that. You can look past crime. There will be a way for you. God will make a way. You see. That's how my story is told. You see. Because why? As early as I can remember, it was when my mother used to take me to just a beach. You see, she was drinking and that stuff. And my father is still alive now. You see, but as I grew older, I was like communicating with him, talking to him. And you see, after I stabbed him, it wasn't like a good relationship. But when I was in prison, I heard he was also in prison. We were both actually same time in prison, yeah, in Maximum Portsmouth. I met him in the Ngomo, in the truck, in the prison truck. Me and my father, we met. And he was like, "What are you doing here? Aren't you younger?" To say, and I told him, "No, I made myself older. I made myself 21 to go to Maximum." You see? And he was like already in his 40s. You see? So from that day, when 7 days I came out, he came out and met each other outside. And I was like trying to build a relationship with him. But he was like, never minded. He didn't, how can I say? He didn't have nothing also, so he couldn't face me. Because he thought when he see me, I wanted something from him. But I didn't want anything from him. You see, I only wanted to know him about his past. I don't even know his father. I don't even know his mother. I don't even know his brothers. I know no one of his family. I only know him. I don't want that to happen to my son. See? That's it.
Alright.
I think, yeah.
I think this